Fear is a tool.
A tool that is and has been vital for survival. Because, you see, in the past, those who feared danger were the ones who avoided danger, therefore increasing their likelihood of survival. The prehistoric humans who feared the dark, who chose to take refuge in caves during the night, rather than roam outside in the darkness, stood a better chance of surviving the night, because outside they would have to face life-threatening nightly predators that they'd have to fight. In the dark, where human senses don't operate as well. Meanwhile, inside they would be relatively safe, making cave paintings and sleeping. We humans have evolved to feel fear of certain things out of necessity, for the sake of survival. The feeling of fear is your brain telling you to avoid something because it's unsafe. And the reason we listen to our brains, typically, is because that feeling is unpleasant. This is why it's so hard for you to face your fears. You just want to run away from them, avoid them, and that feeling that they invoke. The ability to feel fear is omnipresent within the human population. And for that, we have evolution to thank. But certain fears can also be bad. Our fears can be categorized as rational and irrational. You experience rational fear when you're under direct threat, such as when you're in imminent mortal danger in a broken elevator, say. The general fear of heights, the dark, and lightning are rational and healthy. Irrational fears, on the other hand, are unhealthy fears that occur even without a direct threat. They're unhealthy because they can prevent one from leading a normal life. They're caused by traumatic experiences and are referred to as phobias. Entomophobia is the irrational fear of insects or arthropods. Entomophobes might avoid the outdoors just to keep away from any insects. I myself am not very fond of insects, and although I'm pretty sure it's not ethical or moral, I've killed a number of them over the years. Ants, mosquitoes, cockroaches, flies, spiders, moths, and more. But why do people fear insects, or at the very least get disgusted by them? What threat could they pose to us? Well, there are millions of insect species around the world, some of which spread diseases, others sting, a few bite, and even fewer bite badly. Mosquitoes kill 700,000 people a year, and a single bite from the black widow spider can lead to intense vomiting, stomach pain, and dry mouth. But, as scary as they may be, insects play an incredibly important role in every ecosystem. Bees are the greatest pollinators of the world, and apples would be a lot harder to come by without them. Worms, they till soil and make it more nutritious, which is pretty beneficial for apple trees. And without spiders, the world would be home to way more rotten apple-eating flies. Here's an insect. Here's another insect. And another one. The entire Earth is home to 10 quintillion insects, spread across every biome on Earth. Rainforests, deserts, tundras, swamps.
Fireflies. Fireflies are not flies. They're beetles that live in temperate and tropical climates. They're called fireflies because during the night they can emit flashes of light. They do this mostly during summertime, when it's time for them to mate. While flying, an adult male will emit a distinctive pattern of flashes, hoping that a female notices him. If she does, she'll flash back, and they'll keep flashing until they find each other. And then they'll mate. We have a signal now for when I'm needed. When that light hits the sky, it's a call. A mating call. But a firefly only lives as an adult for about a month. Before that, it can spend up to 2 years as a tiny worm called a larva, when all it does is eat. It's basically a baby. It can't do much. It doesn't have wings. It can still light up, though. Only the flashes aren't used as a mating signal this time. They're meant to say, "Stay away, predators! You don't want to eat me! I'm poisonous!" Adult fireflies' wings are covered and protected by wing cases called elytra. Underneath the wings is the abdomen, which is the part that lights up. How does it light up exactly? Well, the fireflies breathe in oxygen through a series of tubes. From there, that oxygen reaches the abdomen, where it reacts with two chemicals, luciferin and adenosine triphosphate, in the presence of an oxidative enzyme called luciferase. This chemical reaction releases energy, which is emitted as light. This is the process of bioluminescence, regulated by the amount of oxygen that reaches the abdomen in the beginning. Even though fireflies are called fireflies, they don't get very hot. In fact, of the energy produced in this reaction, over 90% is light. There's hardly any heat produced, unlike incandescent light bulbs, which are far more heat producing than they are light producing. Camel spiders. Camel spiders are not spiders. They're solpugids, an order of animals that are only related to spiders because they fall under the same class, Arachnida. So they're not camels either. But, like camels, they are found in hot, dry deserts. Camel spiders are formidable nocturnal beasts. They're huge. They can jump up to 1 meter high, and they use this ability to jump onto camels, disembowel them, eat their stomach, and lay their eggs in them. God, they're all so fast. They can run at almost 50 kilometers per hour, and their venom is very potent. No, I'm just kidding. These are all myths. Myths that came to be during the Iraq War, when these spiders started appearing on the internet. The truth is that camel spiders are never more than 15 centimeters long. They hardly hurt camels, and they're not venomous at all. But they still have incredibly powerful jaws. Jaws that can sometimes be up to 1/3 of their body length. They can't use them to hurt humans much, but they can kill small birds, rodents, and other insects. But as surprisingly big as those jaws are, they can barely chew food with them. Instead, they have to vomit their digestive juices on the corpse of their prey and then suck in all the pre-digested meat. Jaws also come handy for male camel spiders when it's time for them to mate. When a male finds a mate, he'll run toward her and, via his jaws, ungraciously deliver a packet of sperm into the reproductive system of the female. Flies. Flies aren't, well, actually, they are flies. House flies, flesh flies, fruit flies, mosquitoes, drain flies. Such species are present in many homes everywhere, but they're hardly welcome anywhere. Flies spread a variety of diseases, and you'll fall sick if you give them enough time to chill on your food, which is why these intruders are often killed by humans upon being spotted. They feel fear, just like we do when you try to kill them, even though their brains are tiny. In fact, flies can process information 10 times faster than we can. They have huge eyes with which they can see from every angle, and their hairs help them to sense changes in air pressure. This is why they're so hard to swat. You see them on a wall, walk closer, and before you can swat them, they've flown away with their wings beating with a frequency of 200 hertz. If a male housefly is interested in a female, he'll bump into her when she's flying. If she wants to mate too, then, well, they'll mate. After mating, the female will deposit her fertilized eggs someplace safe. A few days later, they'll hatch. From each egg, a tiny maggot will emerge. Once it feeds itself enough garbage, feces, and organic waste, it'll metamorphose into a full-grown fly. Flies that lay eggs like this are called oviparous. Many, but not all, species are oviparous. Some are ovoviviparous, meaning they lay live maggots, not eggs. You're currently looking at the corpse of an ovoviviparous fly with its maggot babies coming out of it.
Apart from these three, the Earth is home to many more arthropods, and studying them is the job of entomologists. These scientists interact with insects all the time, and naturally, they have no fear of them. Actually, that's not true. Many entomologists fear the insects that they work with, but they don't let their fears stop them from doing their job, and that's admirable. Fear is the mind killer. Fear is the little death that brings obliteration. Overcoming our fears, facing our fears through professional help if need be, is important. Remember though, some of our fears are rational survival mechanisms that we need to stop ourselves from doing stupid things and endangering ourselves. Yeah.
Go!